Good morning, student. Today we will perform our second practical in our software engineering lab, and that is on a open project, or you can say that it is an open proj. Okay, open proj is your open project, and it is your project management tool. Okay, in this we will performing a second practical, that is study and uses of your open proj or any similar software, and I have told you that the similar software is as your project laborer. Okay, this is the software you will use to plan your project, to track your project. Okay, and the second practical is your track a project. In a previous lecture of your software engineering lab, in that lab we are perform a planning. Okay, planning is there. We have entered a different task in a name column. Then we have also draw a Gantt chart of that. Also allocated a resources to them. Okay, in our first practical. And now we are keeping a track of that process, that task that we have mentioned, the starting date of that project, and a finishing date of that project. What is the finishing date? How and what date that project yours gets started? Okay, we will track that. And further in this, we have studied that there are further columns or your concepts are there in your open proj. That is, first is task usage report is generated. We will mention a task. Different tasks are distributed to different person. Okay, their reports can be generated, their resource breakdown structure can be created. Okay, resources can be given to each task. Okay, and their chart should be maintained in this open proj tool. Then there is a work breakdown structure. Okay, the task is distributed between different persons and resources are provided to them, and their chart should be maintained. Then there is also a Gantt chart that is dwelled side by side when we will enter different tasks. Okay, and next is your PERT graph is also there. Then their total earned value, that is total estimation cost, is also mentioned. That report will also be generated. Okay, and further we will study that what is task. Tasks are the building blocks of your project. Okay, task must have a definite start date and definite your finish date. Okay, we mentioned that in a previous practical that we have given a task name, then their start date is there, their finish date is there. Okay, and according to that we will track that. Okay, according to these date we will track that. Then a task can be assigned to one or more peoples. A single task can be assigned to more than one peoples. Okay, or it can be to a single person also. Okay, a task can have a predecessor or a successor, and this is also I have told you how that predecessors it will be there in your task, and successor will be there in your task. Okay, if your previous task is dependent on your second task, okay, means your first task successor is your second task, and predecessor of second task is your first task. Okay, means task one is completely dependent, sorry, task two is completely dependent on your task one. First your task one will be completed, then you can start your task two. Okay, and this create a dependency between a task. Okay, there is predecessor and successor. Successor is your next task. Okay, what will be the next task? And predecessor is your, after performing your next task, what is his predecessor, means parent. Okay, parent task is which one? Okay, that is predecessor, and successor is your child task. We can have a detailed note for every task. Okay, we will give proper naming, their resources, their start time, their end time. Okay, side by side, your Gantt chart is developed, and here is your screenshot how we will provide a task and the duration to them. Okay, here store tracker is a single task. Okay, further under that store tracker there are indents. Okay, these are the indents, these are the subtasks: collect requirement, review the requirement, get customer, are comes under your store tracker. Okay, and your store tracker complete task will take 14 days. Okay, 14 days according to your subtask. This one, your task is starting on 24 Feb on 2019. This is the screenshot. Okay, and finish date will be your 2nd of March. Okay, starting is your 24th of Feb and finish date will be your 2nd of March. Okay, these days, total days are your 5 days. Then further after this, there is your second subtask, that is review the requirement. Okay, these come under your store tracks. This all is your tasks. Okay, that is divided, and durations are given to them, when it will be start, when it will be finished. Okay, further these are the predecessor, means your review the requirement, this task have a predecessor, that is a collect requirement. After collecting a requirement, you will perform your review. Okay, before review there should be a collection of requirement. So there is a predecessor, means this task have a predecessor, that is collect requirement. Then guest customer sign off have a predecessor, that is review the requirement, and there is also a resource name provided to them. Who will collect the requirements? That is Naga Arjun will be collect that requirement. This is the resource name. Person. It can be a person. It can be your hardware like laptop, printer. These are all your resources. Okay. Person is also a resource. Who will perform that task? Okay, then design task is there, that come under your store tracker. Then there is a coding that come under your tracker. Okay, this is the task column. Okay, duration column, then start time, then finish time. Means if I am making any project, I will distribute that task. Okay, duration should be mentioned, their start time should be mentioned, that this task will be started at this time and it will be finished till this time. Okay, and side by side your Gantt chart is also developed. Okay, collect requirement will take total 5 days. Okay, there is also included Saturday and Sunday, and these are the off days. Okay, that I have mentioned in a previous lecture. And the resource that will perform this task is Nagarjun. Okay, then second task is done by Raghu, and same way you can mention the different resource name to different tasks. Okay, you can give your resource names to them. Okay, this is your Gantt chart. These are your tasks. Okay, the name of the tasks. Okay, then resources. What are the resources? The resources can be a human resource or a machinery. Okay, the same I have told you that it can be a human, can be a person name, or it can be a machinery, that is a hardware. It can be printer, it can be a laptop, it can be a desktop, or any type of machinery. Okay, resource will be associated with your regular time rate and overtime rate. If you are purchasing or buying any product, it will cost you. Okay, if you are giving a resource name, that is your Amit, Amit will take up cost from you. Okay, you have to pay as a team manager. I have to pay a cost to a labor. Okay, here the labor is the Amit. Amit will perform a work, I have to pay to him. Okay, the same way, if I lend some hardware or on rent, or I will purchase any product, any hardware, any machinery, I have to pay for that. That cost is included in your project. Okay, all these cost, you are developing the product, you are using the resource. Okay, all that are included, and on that cost estimation, when you will create a report of that, how many resources you are using, how many time you will take to develop a product, all that you have to mention. And this report will be generated by your open approach, and you will make an estimate of that product or a software and give it to the user so that he can pay to you. Okay, that cost should be there. Okay, how it will be created, I will explain you. Then resource will be tied to the task for tracking process. Okay, resource will be tied to task for tracking. Okay, this is our practical. We have to track our project. Okay, and according to resource, we also track our project. Resources are not shared between projects. Okay, resources are not shared. If I am using Amit, I am using Anil, I am using Sumit, okay, as a team member, they will perform work under me, not with any other project. Okay, the point is there, resource are not shared. Okay, it can be a person or it can be a machinery. If I am using a laptop, a single laptop on for my project, that laptop or that machinery should not be used at the same time for another project. Okay, so here is resources are not shared between a project. Each project is treated as a separate entity. Okay, and this is the dialog box of your resource. Okay, and here's your task information. This comes under your task block. Okay, task dialog box. There is a journal where you will give your task name. There is a predecessor, that you want to create a predecessor to this task or successor to this task. Okay, if you want to create predecessor, you will click on predecessor. If you want to make this task as a successor, you can make it successor of which task. Okay, you have to mention that. Then resources are there. Okay, here are the resources. Naga Arjun is your resource, and his type of work is he will perform a work. Okay, his initial means his label, and it is the first letter of his name. Okay, it will be the first letter of his name. Initial column will define that it is the label, and label of his first letter of his name. Okay, and the maximum unit he will perform is how many time he will perform his work. He will perform his 100% work, mean he will work for 9 to 5. Okay, if we are working in any organization, we will work for 9 to 5 or the time limit they mention. Okay, 9 to 5. Okay, that is he will perform 100% work. Okay, if it will work for 9 to 2, then he will performing a 50% work. Okay, the standard rate should be mentioned. If he will perform 1 hour work, okay, he will be paid a $10 to them. Okay, the organization will pay $10 to them. If he will perform a overtime work, okay, he will take overtime, then $1 per hour, $12 per hour will be provided to him. Okay, these are the standard rates. For 1 hour, it will be a $10. For extra overtime, the overtime that he will give to the work is a $12 per hour. These are the standards. Okay, these are the resources fields. Name, that are the resources name. Type, what type of work they perform. Initial is the first letter of the name. Then maximum unit. Okay, unit means utilization. How they perform a work. They perform 50% of work, or it will be 100%. Okay. Then there are standard areas. These come under your resource menu. Okay, if you click this resource, you will mention that. Then project calendars are there. For scheduling a project, a base calendar is required. Okay, calendar for your check your task. when it is started, how much it is completed, and how it when it will be finished. Okay. For scheduling a project, a base calendar is required. In a calendar, we specify the regular work time, holidays also. Okay. Regular work time is from Monday to Friday, it is completely working day. Then Saturday, Sunday is your off. Then there are holidays also. Okay. That should be also checked while tracking your progress. Okay. Project. We can use 24-hour calendar or a regular time calendar. Okay. 24-hour calendar should be there. If required, we can also specify any unconventional work times. That is, we have to mention if we have a important project, then we will go for overtime, and we also open our office, or we can perform a project in week end also, or in holidays also. Okay. That is a unconventional work times. If there is holiday, the project is important, we have to deliver that project on time, then we will perform a work in your holidays also. Okay. Then number of hour per day, number of day per week, number of day per month can be configured. Okay. This should be checked while tracking your project. And this is your calendar. Okay, in which there is a default, mention your dates, and there is a non working time also, there is a non default working time also, that is mentioned only. Okay. This is all you have to mention. Then there is a task tracking. This is the concept that we will do today. How we will perform our task tracking? Through a Gantt chart. Okay, through a Gantt chart. Gantt chart is used to see a pictorial view, means graphical view of task dependency. Here is your Gantt chart, and this is showing your a graphical representation. Okay, bar is showing, and this bar will says that your task will be started on Tuesday. Okay, that is 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Your task, this one task is starting on 24 of Feb, and it will be completed till your 2nd of March. Okay, it will be completed. This is your progress. Okay, and this Gantt chart show you your tracking. Okay, Gantt chart use timeline as x-axis and task on the y-axis. Okay, Gantt chart use timelines as x-axis. Timeline is there, means it will be starting on 24 and finished at 22nd. Oh, sorry, 2nd of March. Okay. To create a subtask, use indentation feature. Okay. आपको बताया था, that is if you are making your indentation, okay, of design task, you have to select all these tasks, right click, then go for first option, that is indent. Okay. If you want to create these, create review these tasks as an indent of design, right click, select, first of all select all these tasks, then right click and select the option that is indent. It will be indent of your design task. Okay. Okay, these are the indents. Then we can define a task as a milestone task as well as to indicate a logical endpoints. Okay, milestone is your endpoint. This is your milestone, means it should be completed till 2nd of March. This, and your complete store tracker, your task should be completed from this date to up to this date. Okay, this is the complete task that should be completed, and under their subtasks are completed in between this main task. Okay, this is your main task, and further these are the subtasks under your store tracker. Then we can specify the percentage completion for every task. Okay, percentage completion should be there. How much your task is completed, that should be checked by a team leader or a project manager. Okay, this tracking should be checked by a team leader or a project manager. Okay, when percentage completion is 100%, the task will be indicated with the tick mark. Okay, here this collect requirement, if it is completed on time, then we have to tick it, means this task is completed. Okay, while we are tracking that product, or sorry, task, while we are tracking that task, we have to mark it. Okay, then there are baseline. When tracking the task and the progress, it is in imperative to save a baseline. Okay, baseline is a snapshot of a plan at a given point of time. Baseline, how much task is completed, that is a baseline. While we are tracking, if I am tracking after a 5 days, I have to mark a baseline that on this base time or a date, I have tracked this much project. After few days or after a 5 days, I will again check that project, how much again it is completed. Okay, that is your baseline. After many updation to the plan during the track phases, we can compare that with the baseline dates. Okay, means if we are making a different projects or a different plans, then we will check our previous baselines, how much time it will take in our previous project. These baselines are helpful at that time when we are creating a new project. Okay, what limitations are there, that will be checked, and according to that we will make our next project and improve that baselines and progress of that project. Okay, this will tell us whether we are in line with or deviating from the original plans. Okay, means we are going correct or not. Okay, there is an accuracy or not, that should be checked. There are total 11 baseline can be stored for every project. Okay, there should be 11 baselines for every project. Usually we suggest to have a weekly baselines of the plan, means we have to track our project after every week and mention a baseline, how much your task is completed. If more baselines are required, we can clear some of the previous defined baselines. Total are 11. If more than 11 are there, then we have to remove our previous baselines, previous mentioned date or time. Okay. Then task views are, the task grids are have a many more columns. Okay, task view is your previous, that is task, name of your task, duration, okay, your start time, end time, that is your task view. The task grid can have many more columns. We can hide an existing column or add a new column. Okay, there are many predefined columns such as priority. We can add our own text, number, date columns, rename them, as well as any column can be resized and the order of the column can be rearranged. When you double click on a task, you can see detail of the particular task. Okay, this is your complete overview of task. Okay, here is your task name. This is the work duration. Okay, sorry, work, how many hour it will be performed. Durations are there, start time is there. Okay, this is your complete task view in the form of a table. Okay, on Tuesday, 8-hour work should be there by a single user resource. Then second resource also work of 8 hours, means 9 to 5. Okay, 9 to 5 work is there. Then on Wednesday, there is again 8-hour work by a single resource and second resource also performing a work 8 hours. But in your 16th, okay, on this task, design task, there is only a single resource, that is work for 8 hours. Okay, and same way there is also a 4-hour work by a single resource, and this is your 50% work. Okay, 4-hour means 50% work is there. Total is of 8 hours and 4 hours is 58% work. Then constraints are there. The task to have dependency as a finish to start. Okay, there is a dependency. If first task is started on 2nd of March and finish on 5th of March, then your second task will be complete started on after your first task will be complete. Means it will be started on 6th of March after completing first task. Okay, that is the task to have a dependency as a finish to start or finish to finish or start to start or start to finish. Okay, they depend on that. Depending on predecessor starts and finish date and dependency, the next task will be scheduled. Okay, your dependency will be on predecessors also. Okay, of successors. Apart from this, we can specify constraint like start no earlier than must start on. Okay, there should be a constraint of means if first task completed, then only second task will be started. Okay, that is a constraint in your open proj. These constraint put additional stress on ensuring that tracking is done correctly. Okay, this constraints, that is, if first task is completed, then second will be started. If second completed, then third will be started. Okay, these are the constraints, and this will put an additional stress on project manager. He have to check properly each and every task. Okay, when it is started, when it is completed. Okay, this also make your project effective. Okay, then there is a work and a cost that I have told. If there are resources, if they are working for 100%, means total 8 hour working is there, we have to pay them. Okay, the cost should be included in your project, and that cost should be mentioned while you are giving an estimation to the user or a customer. Okay, when we include the work column based on the number of hour configured per day, the effort is calculated. Okay, when we include the work column based on the number of hour, if it is 8 hour work, then we have to pay for it. Okay, then we can use the work part to calculate the planned and actual efforts. Then we have to associate cost to resources and task to resource. Okay, cost of resource that we have mentioned. Okay, the cost of the resource are used to calculate the cost of a task also. The cost calculation is based on your work hours. Okay, and that's all your concept is how we will track our project. Now I will show you how all these concepts will be performed on our open approach. Okay, I will open my open approach and existing project is there. Okay, this is the interface of your open page. Now I will open my existing project that I have created previously. Okay, I will go for a open. If I am creating a new project, I will click on a create project. Now I have to open my existing project. I will click on open, and there are different files and folders are there, and my project name is open online shopping. Okay, the extension is .pod. Okay, this is your project document. Pod is your project document. Okay, this file, online shopping. The name given to my project is online shopping, and I will click on this and open this project. Okay, here it is on your screen. Okay, These are the task name that I have given: requirement gathering, requirement analysis, planning task, analysis task, design task, and further in design there are two indents. That is internal design, external design. Further there is coding task. Okay. And in coding there are indents. That is module 1, M1 is module 1, M2 is module 2, M3 is module 3, and module 4. Okay. Then further there is another task that is testing. Okay. These are the tasks. These are the duration, start time, finish time. Okay. Predecessors are there. Then further there are resources name. If I want to delete any column or hide any column, I will click on your this one. I will click right click on this. I will hide the column. Okay. Okay. These are the columns. If I want to hide any of the column, I will click right click on that column name, then hide that column. Okay. If I want to show any column, I will click on insert and check these are the further columns are there. Okay. I will check any one of from these options and I will again go for a resource. Okay. Resource name. Okay. This the same way you can also perform, you can add or hide the different columns. Okay. Now there is a time. Okay. Start time and finish time. This, if I will click on this task, double click on this task, there are a task information is there. Okay. General information is the name of the task. Okay. And their start time and finish time. If I will change the start time from 31st and finish time will be my next month, that is till 7. Okay. I will close that. Finish time is your, okay, I have to change the subtask, then it will be changed the date and time. Okay. It will not changing the finish time because there are subtasks. Okay. For that I have to change the date of these subtask, then it will be changed. Okay. Now check this. Now design task will take total 16 days because I have changed the subtask date. Okay. Then again I will change the design, external design date, that it will be started on 7th of September and finished till your 9th of September. Okay. Check this. Now your total days of your design task is 8 days. Okay. The same way in this, your module 1 will be started on after completing your design. Okay. And it will be finished on 15. Okay. The same way this will be started. Okay. Your coding will be performed after your designing. Okay. That is why I am giving a different dates. Okay. The same way you can also give them that this is your tasks. Okay. There's duration, their start time, their finish time, and this is your Gantt chart. Okay. According to this, we will take a track. Okay. Means if I have started my project on, this is 29th of August, this is 28, this is 27. That is, I have started my project on 27, that is a Friday. Okay. And on that date, I will check my progress. Means this task should be, requirement gathering task should be completed. Okay. Means it is completed till Monday. That is the this week Monday. Okay. Your task requirement analysis also should be completed. Your task, this is half completed. Okay. This is your half completed task, that is planning. Means it will take more one day, that is till Friday. Okay. This is your track. And this we will go through while we are checking a Gantt chart. Okay. And the same way we will give a resource name also, that is Amit will perform this. Okay, and this will be done when we will give a name in a resource chart. That here it is your resource chart. That is in your left side there is a third tab. First is your Gantt chart, this one. This is your network chart. This is your resource chart. Okay. Here you will click, then there will be a resource name option. You will write here, that is Amit will be the resource. Okay. He will work. Maximum unit is 100. Okay. Then Anil is there. Okay. Then there is Sunil is there. Okay. Then there is Sumit is there. Okay. These are the resources. Then laptop is there. Okay. And there is a type. What they will do, they will work, and their initials are there. If I want to hide this column, I will click on, right click on this column, I will click hide, then again material hide, then group hide. That the column that I not need, that I will hide that column. Okay. Okay, these are the further columns. Their order overtime is there, their accurate is there, their base calendar is there. Okay, that I do not need these columns, I have to hide that. Okay, this is your resource, and these resource can be mentioned here. Amit will perform this. Wait a minute. Okay, the name I am giving is small a. Okay, here is capital, that is Anil is there. Okay, then Sunil is there. Okay, then there is your Sumit also. The resource will can provide to them. Okay, the same way you can also perform this. Okay, you can track this progress. Okay,